gathered here to discuss forced conversion and marriage of both Christian and Hindu minority groups within a Muslim majority country of Pakistan. Global news media has reported story after story of underage girls being forced or coerced into marriage with men sometimes twice their age, whom are already married with children. To add to this violation, the girls who hail from an oppressed and devastated areas like Christian slums or Hindu minority town of Sindh are also forced to denounce their personal faith and required to convert to Islam and begin reciting Quranic scriptures as reported by the BBC. Despite the valiant efforts of some local Pakistani lawmakers, powerful Islam clerics, seminaries, and particular madrasas are working together to forcibly violate the very dignity of these Christian, Hindu, or Sikh girls to choose their faith or life partner, rendering them basically modern-day slaves without freedom of religion or belief. According to the United States State Department 2021 report on international religious freedom, the total population of Pakistan is estimated to be 240 million about. According to the result of the most recent national census conducted in 2017, 96% of the population is Sunni or Shia Muslim. According to government figures, the remaining 4% include Ahmadi Muslims, Hindus, Christians, including Roman Catholics, Anglicans, and Protestants, among others. So as you can tell, 4% doesn't have a chance in the majority, 96%. To that end, the United States State Department also relisted Pakistan as a country of particular concern on November 30th, 2022, alongside egregious human rights violators like Saudi Arabia, Russia, and the People's Republic of China. While Pakistan's constitution establishes Islam as a state's religion, it states, subject to law, public order, and morality, every citizen shall have the right to profess, practice, and propagate his religion. I don't know why it says his. I wish it said his and hers. According to the Constitution, every citizen has the right to freedom of speech, subject to reasonable restrictions in the interest of the glory of Islam, as stipulated by the Penal Code. According to the Penal Code, the punishments for persons convicted of blasphemy include death for defiling the Prophet Muhammad, life imprisonment, defiling, damage, or desecrating the Quran, and up to 10 years imprisonment for insulting another's religious feelings. Speech or action intended to incite religious hatred is punishable by up to 7 years imprisonment. However, for Hindu sisters Reena and Ravina from Sindh, the valiant words of Pakistan's constitution did not hold true, as they were violently forced to become second and third wives to Muslim men, forced to denounce their faith. In this particular case, the girls' father has shared that the girls were taken from his home at gunpoint and since has fought for their release through the court system. But much to the dismay of the international human rights community, including the International Religious Freedom Roundtable and Secretariat, the girls were not released, as the only issue at play was in their legal case revolved around whether or not the girls were of legal age to consent to marry. After a forensic evaluation, which I assume also was devastating and re-traumatizing to the girls, to determine their age, the case was closed, leaving a father wailing for the release of his daughters by violent Muslim pedophiles and two girls grasping to survive a life of torture, sex abuse, and psychological warfare. As for me, I'm a survivor of multiple forms of abuse myself, and I identify deeply with the pain the girls endured, being trapped inside a home where their very dignity, mental stability, and agency were desecrated in the name of sick, sadistic pleasure. The girls deserve more. They and all other at-risk minority girls deserve the whole force of the global community to cry out in unison for their release and the immediate and full, authentic attention of the Pakistani government to uphold religious liberties, in addition to repealing the death penalty for blasphemy and apostasy charges. I'd like to talk a little bit about A and B laws and what we're doing at the campaign to stop that. Do I have time to do that today, or would you like me to close now?
If you can give 2 minutes, that'll be great, because or if you can stay a little bit longer, I have some questions, but okay. 2 minutes.
Great. So we at the IRF Global Campaign to Eliminate Blasphemy and Apostasy Laws are encouraged by the recent sanctions of the UK Foreign Minister to place a travel ban and an asset freeze on Mian Abdul Haq, a Muslim cleric from the Sharif Shrine in Gotak, Sindh, who is responsible for the forced marriages and forced religious conversions of non-Muslim minors. Specifically, our committee addresses apostasy, which is leaving a religion or belief, and blasphemy, which is the insult of a religion, its objects, or its places. As stated by the U.S. State Department Ambassador at Large Rashad Hussain, such laws limit individuals' rights to express and practice their faith and empower extremists to take the law into their own hands and employ violence extrajudicially, which is, I feel like, what we're seeing with these girls that we're talking about today. We believe it is critically important to urge Afghanistan, Iran, Malaysia, Maldives, Nigeria, Mauritania, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Yemen to repeal the death penalty for apostasy. And we urge a similar repeal for blasphemy charges in Afghanistan, Iran, Mauritania, Nigeria, Pakistan, Somalia, and Saudi Arabia. The committee itself has endorsed legislation like resolutions passed by Chairman Raskin and Senator Lankford urging the repeal of blasphemy and apostasy laws. We have hosted briefings at the United Nations and the US Congress on the topic, and also have been advocating for specific freedom of religion or belief language to be embedded during the 77th Annual United Nations General Assembly over the past few months. The committee has created a charter calling for an end to extrajudicial killings for apostasy and blasphemy laws, which you all might sign by visiting nae.org/takeaction. So on Friday, the 10th of November, the United Nations General Assembly Third Committee voted in favor of 2 UNGA resolutions with language to protect individuals threatened with death via apostasy or blasphemy laws. The General Assembly is the UN's most representative body, comprising 193 member states. And on Friday, the 10th of November, 131, which is over 2/3 of the member states, voted in favor of the extrajudicial summary or arbitrary executions resolution, and 126 countries voted in favor of the moratorium on the death penalty resolution, including new language that advocated for the global for freedom of religion or belief, which we were really excited about. The coalition
Wonderful.
Oh yeah, we were really excited. The coalition of individuals and organizations signed a joint charter released 2nd of August for the International Day victims of violence based on religion or belief to ensure the death penalty is never applied for apostasy and blasphemy, calling on UN member states to embed language in the resolutions. So here's the kicker. Even where the death sentence is not carried out, it is usually justifying the in commando detention, physical and psychological torture, denial and legal representation and medical care, and prolonged detention, often until death, of individuals on grounds of their religion or belief. States also carry out executions outside the judicial process or rely on other non-state actors to execute with impunity. So in summary, I would just like to point you to nae.org/takeaction, where you or your organizations or as individuals can sign on to that charter to help us raise awareness and continue to beat the drum on this issue. We can't repeal blasphemy and apostasy laws at one time. We can't solve all of the global crises or save all of these minority groups at once. But one step forward, we believe at the committee, the global campaign to eliminate blasphemy and apostasy laws, is to start with the death penalty. And that's calling on 11 Organization of Islamic countries that I listed off earlier to repeal the death penalty and apostasy. So
that's
thank
great.
you for your time.
Thank you so much. And this is a great place to start. And so thank you